Is Madame Gazelle getting married?
The children arrive excited, running and jumping, while Madame Gazelle greets them at the school door with her usual smile.
Good morning, children. Come in, please. Today will be a very special day.
The children exchange curious glances as they leave their backpacks on the hooks.
A special day? What will it be?
Then George turns to Peppa and says,
Is it a cake day?
Or maybe it's a party. After all, celebrations are excellent ways to spend more time with friends.
says Susie, excited sheep, the misunderstanding. While the children talk and speculate, Madame Gazelle moves away into the hallway, where Miss Rabbit is organizing a box of decorations. Madame Gazelle and Miss Quelho talk calmly in the hallway. Their voices are clear enough to be partially heard by children passing by without either of them noticing.
Is everything ready for the big special event?
Yes, I'm very excited. The dress is simply beautiful, and the music will be wonderful.
Will the cake be chocolate with red fruit filling?
That's right. This is my favorite. It will be a beautiful party.
I've already separated the beautiful gardenias for decoration, and this makes it much more special.
And the music? I need the instruments to be in tune. I want to present the guests with a wonderful sound.
Leave it alone. Everything will go as planned, and it will be an unforgettable night for everyone, with everything in order and the most beautiful celebration.
Peppa and Susie, who were walking nearby, immediately stopped and opened their eyes wide. Then Peppa says,
Did you hear that? Madame Gazelle spoke of a dress and music.
This can only mean one thing. She's getting married.
The two look at each other with enthusiasm, and Peppa says,
We need to tell everyone. They need to know this incredible news.
two run out to find their other friends, their excited voices echoing through the hallway. At recess, Peppa and Susie gather their friends around a swing. They form a tight circle to talk about the big news. Then Peppa says,
Guys, we have great news. Madame Gazelle is getting married.
To marry? Are you sure?
We hear her talk about dress, music, and a big special event.
jumping for joy. Danny Dog says,
This is so exciting. She deserves an amazing wedding.
But who will she marry? Maybe with someone who loves music like her.
Or maybe with someone who likes teaching just like her.
children begin to imagine and speculate about who the groom could be, laughing and making up funny stories.
Suddenly, with determination, we need to do something special for her.
Yes, as a surprise.
So let's plan. We can decorate the room and prepare something she will love.
The friends begin to exchange ideas. George suggests balloons, Susie talks about flowers, and Pedro thinks of a special design. Preparing the party. Children running back and forth across the playground excitedly as they discuss the details of the plan. Peppa and Susie smile proudly, believing they have everything under control. They are gathered in the classroom during the break, anxious and dedicated to preparations. Then Peppa says,
Let's start with the balloons. George, you and Richard can fill them while we take care of the other things. Yes, Peppa. Balloons are easy.
George and Richard start blowing up the balloons, but they pop some in the process, which generates a lot of laughter.
Meanwhile, Candy and I take care of the flowers. Madame Gazelle will love our decoration.
And we can make drawings too. I'm going to design a really big cake for her.
Entering Susie with a large sheet of paper. Just look, I'm drawing Madame Gazelle in a wedding dress.
It's beautiful, Susie. She will be very excited.
The children work together, blowing up balloons, drawing, and even rehearsing a song for the big day. While they are working, Madame Gazelle passes by the door, curious to hear so much commotion.
What are you doing, children?
We're doing an art assignment, Madame Gazelle. Nothing else.
How wonderful. Keep up the good work.
Everyone freezes for a moment. Peppa takes the lead, trying to disguise it. As soon as she leaves, the children let out a collective sigh of relief. For a very short time, Madame Gazelle discovered the surprise ahead of time, and that would be very bad. Shortly after his departure, Danny Dog said,
Phew, she almost discovered everything.
We need to be faster and quieter. We don't want to ruin the surprise.
Excited, the children begin to tell other classmates about Madame Gazelle's supposed marriage. At first, some don't believe the news and question Peppa and Susie the sheep, but they insist, confirming the situation, and Susie says,
Of course, we hear her talking about dresses, parties, and music. It must be a wedding.
If it's a wedding, we need more things, like rings and flowers.
Soon the others are convinced and decide to help with Madame Gazelle's wedding party. who they have deep admiration for and want to contribute to this special day in her life. Ideas begin to spread throughout the school like a gale of creativity. Therefore, each group of children takes on a mission for the big day. In the art room, Rebecca Coelho leads a team to create a colorful paper arch filled with cutout flowers. She believes this will be a differentiator for the party, as it has a beautiful, colorful arch. In the play area, Freddie Fox and George assemble a giant cake made of building blocks. Everyone is excited and wants to do an excellent job to please Madame Gazelle.
Dinosaur, eat the cake! Only after the party, George.
In the musical part, Peppa, Susie, and Zoe Zebra rehearse a special song.
This song will move everyone.
Meanwhile, other classmates like Candy Gatto and Emily Elefante decorate the room with drawings and posters saying, "Long live the newlyweds." The doubt. Back in class, Madame Gazelle, without suspecting the misunderstanding, introduces the topic of the day, the importance of family.
Kids, today we're going to talk about how families help us grow with love and care.
Families are important. They help us when we need it and always make us feel safe.
Well done, Peppa. Families may be different, but love is what matters.
Plus, family days are always more fun.
Suddenly, a doubt arises in the children's heads about the topic, so Peppa raises her hand to ask, and Madame Gazelle says,
Can you speak? Does Peppa have any doubts?
Yeah, what happens when we get big? Should we continue living with our parents?
When the time is right, we leave our parents' home to create a new family. It happened like that to your parents, and with everyone else's.
Does this mean I'm abandoning Mommy and Daddy Pig?
No, you'll just have more space, but you don't have to stop spending time with your parents, Peppa.
Ah, I see. It would be like with Grandpa and Grandma Pig. We are always having fun, despite living in different houses.
That's right, Peppa.
Will this happen to everyone, Madame Gazelle?
Yes, Susie. That's the cycle of life.
Madame Gazelle starts showing old photos of her family, including a photo of her with her sister, Madame Valentina, which leaves her with a nostalgic look.
Tomorrow is a special day for my sister. Let's celebrate her birthday.
The children exchange glances and whisper, still convinced that it is a wedding.
I knew there was a party involved. Her sister must be the bride.
We have to make everything perfect. It's going to be the best wedding ever.
Excited, the children decide to intensify their preparations. At recess, they divide into teams to rehearse triumphal entries, create improvised speeches, and even invent dances for the big event.
I will be the master of ceremonies. Welcome to Madame Gazelle's wedding.
Everything will be so beautiful for this wedding.
In the midst of her enthusiasm, Madame Gazelle notices the different movement in the room, but decides not to interrupt. And as he passes by the children, he says,
You are very busy today, aren't you? I can't wait to see what they're up to.
The children laugh, but keep it a secret, eager to surprise Madame Gazelle and her sister on the big day. The big day. The next day, the children arrive at school early. The room is completely decorated. With excellent teamwork, everything was perfect. With beautiful, colorful arches, flowers and vases and paintings throughout the room, in addition to confetti and glitter on the school floor.
Everything is ready. Madame Gazelle will love it.
Madame Gazelle enters the room and stops, surprised by the decorations. And he is surprised by all the decoration in his classroom and asks,
What is all this?
It's for your wedding, Madame Gazelle.
Marriage? Who said I'm going to get married?
Children are confused. Then Susie asks,
But you talked about dresses and music.
Oh, children, the big event is my sister's birthday, who hasn't visited me in a while. So I plan to do something very special for her.
The children are embarrassed, exchanging glances while playing with their fingers. Silence takes over the room. Noticing this, Madame Gazelle says,
That was very kind of you, but it's always important to ask before jumping to conclusions.
The children are embarrassed, especially Peppa and Susie Ovelha for having drawn the wrong conclusions and making their friends prepare for the wedding party that doesn't exist. Then Peppa decides to speak.
I think we learned something important today.
Susie tries to break the atmosphere that has arisen in the room and says,
At least we managed to make you smile, right, Madame Gazelle?
You always make me smile, kids. Your creativity and enthusiasm are admirable.
But were you upset with us?
Of course not, Peppa. I was very touched by your effort and affection.
Can we use the decorations for another party then?
That's a wonderful idea, Susie. How about we celebrate my sister's birthday together?
We can sing the song we rehearsed.
That would be beautiful. I'm sure my sister will love it.
The children quickly cheer up, regaining their former energy.
Can I still be the master of ceremonies?
Of course, Danny. You will be perfect for the role.
And the cake we made? he can be the center of the table.
He is perfect. I'm sure my sister will love it.
The children begin to rearrange the room, adapting the decorations for the birthday celebration.
I think, in the end, everything worked out.
More than okay, Susie. You turned the day into something unforgettable.
As the room fills with laughter and preparations, Madame Gazelle proudly observes the children's spirit of unity and joy. The choice to learn from mistake. Madame Gazelle smiles, her eyes shining with emotion.
And that's what matters, Susie. The love and effort you put in is the true gift. Now, let's use this beautiful decoration and celebrate my sister's birthday together.
Everyone cheers up again, transforming the moment of misunderstanding into a joyful celebration full of unity. The children, Madame Gazelle and Madame Valentina, are gathered in the decorated room. Upbeat music plays in the background while everyone has fun. The tables are full of cakes and juices, and there are balloons everywhere. Madame Valentina moved, thanks the children for their efforts.
What a beautiful party. You really turned the birthday into something unforgettable. I didn't expect that.
We thought you were going to get married, Madame Gazelle, so we wanted it to be special.
You have a very active imagination, but I'm happy for all the affection and dedication.
I think we learned something very important today, Madame Gazelle.
And what happened, Susie?
Always ask before imagining things.
The children laugh and agree while Madame Gazelle smiles approvingly.
And we learned to work together to create something beautiful, even if it all started with a mistake.
You turned a funny situation into a special moment, full of togetherness and learning. That's something I'll always remember.
The children look at each other with pride, realizing how they worked as a team and how it brought joy to everyone. Mummy Pig arrives to pick up Peppa and George. She watches the celebration with admiration, noting the decorations and festive atmosphere.
What a wonderful party. It looks like you had a day full of learning and fun.
Yes, Mom. Today we learned that listening carefully before drawing conclusions can avoid confusion.
This is something very important, Peppa. It's a lesson you'll carry with you forever.
And having a party is so much fun.
Everyone laughs. Madame Gazelle takes the opportunity to reinforce the lesson with the children before the party ends.
Children, life is full of moments to learn. Listening, asking, and working together are great lessons. Today, you showed that you can do incredible things when you collaborate and respect each other.
But Madame Gazelle, do you think you'll get married one day?
The children remain silent, waiting for the answer. Madame Gazelle looks at Susie with an amused smile.
Who knows, but I promise if it happens, you'll be the first to know.
Everyone starts laughing again. The music swells, everyone dancing and joking as the party continues. The room is full of joy and learning. Then Madame Gazelle says,
Remember, kids, before you imagine or share something, ask, listen, and learn. This makes everything clearer and more fun. Listening and asking questions before drawing conclusions helps avoid misunderstandings and strengthens our bonds.
If you enjoy Peppa's incredible universe, you know you're in the right place. So, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos, okay? We're leaving 2 really cool videos for you to explore a little more of Peppa's world with us. Until later.